My name is Eliza Ngutuku. I come from Kenya. And when I received the good news that I won this beautiful prize, I did a small African dance. And later, I invited my colleagues and friends to join me in the virtual dance. In addition to dancing for joy, as a scholar activist on similar occasions, I've danced as a performance of politics of affirmation in knowledge production. And today, and this space here, feels like one of those dancing days as I talk about my research. Siaya here, one of the marginalized counties in Kenya with high levels of child poverty and affected by HIV/AIDS, is where I lived for a year to understand children's lived experience of poverty. Siaya is also where the curiosity around the research was bred, because for years I'd carried out research on poverty and also supported organizations that were providing support to vulnerable children. It was during this work that I experienced an intellectual discomfort around how the experience of children with poverty was understood, represented, but also researched. I observed that income and material deprivation alone could not explain the experience of children, and there were different social relational issues. There were also constructions of children's identity by the huge crowd of aid organizations. But I also felt this discomfort around the role of a seemingly distant state in children's lives. And then I took a huge leap of faith to investigate children's lived experience using the Deleuzian framework of a metaphor of a rhizome here. And this is a signifier for complexity and where, like a map, different things connect together in complex ways. And I wanted to answer a complex question. What is it both to be and to be constructed as a poor and a vulnerable child? And to answer this question, I mapped the experience of children in the three spaces of the home, the school, and the programs of support, including in state policies and also practices. And in terms of contributions, what I was looking for was not grand discoveries about what children's experience is, but to show how we can capture its messy realities. I engaged the categorizing practices used in child poverty research and also and practice by showing that the categories are not neat. I also engaged the notions of gendered vulnerability by showing how gender acts differently for differently located children. I also demonstrate a need for an emergent context-specific approach instead of fixing children's experience in advance. And the other contribution of my research is the methodology. And this contribution is also ontological. And in showing the need to rethink our methods of knowing child poverty, I used an innovative method of listening softly to children's voice. These, among others, include acknowledging voices' silence as the absence, as the different processes of silencing, and diverse ways in which children's voice does happen. And in terms of my work, in the Laudatio for my PhD defense, Auma read me a beautiful poem by Michere Mugo titled Where Are Those Songs? From the book Daughters of Africa. She told me to continue singing about my research and the story of African daughters. It feels surreal being a daughter of Africa, from the village actually, and standing here to receive this award and sing about my research. The aim of my research was also about telling the story of children of Africa and to validate our voices and knowledge. I have amplified that story through various conversations, and I am in the process of publishing it into a book. As a scholar activist, I have continued similar conversations through the Philosophy Institute for Africa at the LSE here in London, where I'm working as a researcher and also a teacher. I'm carrying out research projects for children and youth in Kenya and Uganda using the messy method that I used for this particular research. I continue teaching and speaking about the vistas in my research and the potential for using nonlinear methods to understand complex realities. As I finish, I thank the foundation for this honor, my family, my husband Martin, and our 2 children for their support. My parents, especially my mother, an activist daughter of Africa, whose biography also inspired the development of this particular research. And going back to the dance, in my research journey, I would write to my awesome supervisors, telling them to dance with me whenever I felt there was wonder in my research, a surprising line, like the lines in a rhizome. I thank you, Karen. I thank you, Auma, for ensuring I did not get lost in my wonder. In addition to dancing together for joy with children of Siaya, this story is also about their pain, which pricks me every single day. As I honor them, we must not forget their pain. Thank you all. Thank you.